Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Organic Concrete TV, man, where everything is all natural, all hustle. Today, unfortunately, has to be a video about negative things, like a negative vibe. This video has a negative vibe. And what I mean by that is the title. So you know what the topic is, right? And anything involving violence towards anyone, especially little kids, children, something we do not want to have to experience. We don't want to have to see this happen, hear about it happening. But it's so real and surreal when it happens to you. When you take your kids to school in the morning, make sure you hug your children. Tell them you love them. Pray with them. Whatever it is that you feel you have to do to cover them with safety. Because this world we live in is a really bad place. It's a place where people harm children, man, or do things around children. Our children are not going to be able to run this world in the future the way things are looking right now. So let's tighten up, man, as a people, as a world community, not just your block where you live, your neighborhood, the entire world, especially here in America where we live. Let's tighten up when it comes to our children, man. Let's protect our children, man. Let's teach them. No one is perfect. We had this talk before in many videos in the past. It's about what you're gonna do now that count. And I want to send a shout out to all of my children, man. And they range from close to 30 to 2. I love y'all. I can say that. Y'all my children. I missed a lot of time with y'all. Things happen for a reason. And I still end up being a good father, some kind of way. Shout out to my babies, man. I love y'all, man. The footage I got, you know, it was a real situation. So I was like, it's my first time ever being that close to an active situation like that. So I got what I could get, which wasn't a lot, but I also added a news clip to this so y'all can get the full story of what's happening. Because when we got there, or before we got there, they called and said it's something happened outside of the school. They were not telling the truth about that. They knew what was going on. We covered that a little bit, the best that we could. We just wanted to prove that Organic Concrete TV was there as a TV station, but also I was there, Brittany was there, and Phoebe was there to support Avi, because Avi was actually in the school. So as parents, loved ones, we were there to support her. Everything else second. Organic Concrete TV, man. We love y'all. Thanks for the support. Now watch these clips.
Come on. So what happened?
She's so nosy.
I said it.
We out here live, man, on Concrete TV. Full of a possible school shooting or whatever, but it wasn't one. Do that make any sense? They got the streets blocked off, the news here. They won't tell nobody what happened. You know, they had the school on lockdown. We finally got Avi up out of there and she not coming back. Look at that shit, man. We out here. We not leaving because of this neither. It's gonna take a little more than this. We got Avi out, we leaving now. Peace.
So parents were lining these streets outside of the school.
Many parents we talked to this afternoon while they were waiting to reunite with their children said their students were texting them, giving them updates.
Fox 6's Shana Kalafi has been speaking to those families all afternoon and is live with more on what they say happened throughout the day.
Yeah, John and Jacqueline, a lot of emotion out here. Just a few hours ago, parents were lining these streets outside of the school, anxiously waiting for their kids to be reunited with them. We spoke to a lot of them who, like you said, they were getting the information directly from their students with texts and phone calls, but they didn't have a lot of details. So when they heard it was a shooting, especially given recent acts of violence at schools across the country, they say they assumed the worst.
Some of them were crying, they're screaming, and everybody started calling their mom.
Fear inside classrooms at Von Tobel Middle School Monday afternoon as the campus was put on a hard lockdown following a shooting outside. Students in the building hearing the announcement on the loudspeakers, some thinking it was a drill until they heard the sirens and saw police entering classrooms.
When I noticed that it wasn't a joke is when the police had came in with their guns, and that's when I got super scared. Like my heart was beating super fast.
Another student says her class used desks to barricade the door, assuming the worst as officers worked to clear the school.
That's when everybody got scared because they were knocking really hard, and we didn't know if it was someone or the police, and we didn't know nothing. I was like, what happens if it's a shooter? What happens if it's someone and it's not the school? Or like if it's not the police?
Crowds of parents gathered outside during the lockdown, anxiously waiting to be reunited with their kids.
With all the shootings that's going on at these schools, so that's my first thought, that somebody was in a school trying to get to these kids. And then the communication from the school districts is very limited. Like, okay, you telling us it's a hard lockdown, but what does that consist of? What's happening inside the schools? How safe is these kids, really?
The students were released after hours of hiding in the school. And although no students were hurt, some say incidents like this make them nervous just to go to school every day. And it's something no kid should fear, just going to school, going about their regular days. But a lot of families tonight feeling a lot of relief as they're back home with their kids safe and sound. I'll send it back to you.
It's not even on YouTube, it's on camera, so look.